So let's begin. We're going to start with our state Senate candidates. So if I could call to the podium, please, for District 25, Representative Joseph Abruzzo. Melanie Peterson. For District 32, Ray Damiano. And District 34, State Senator Maria Sachs. Okay, so I think we're missing Ray Damiano, and so we are going to proceed. Because Mr. Damiano is running in District 32, and his opponent was not present, so nobody is present from District 32. Now, the numbers that were drawn before this, I guess, Representative Abruzzo, you got the highest number, so you will get the first question. But what we'd like to do is start off with the opening statements, and you have a minute for your opening, and it just so happens we start for the opening statements going in this direction. So, go right ahead.
My name is Joseph Abruzzo. I am so proud to be your Democratic nominee for the Florida State Senate in District 25. So far, our campaign has been very exciting. I've had the opportunity to meet thousands of people throughout the district for my role as a legislator and, of course, on the campaign trail, and truly get a feel and a direction of where we need to move Florida. And that direction has always been one of positive initiatives and pure common sense. A direction that places people above politics. Once we got to the legislature, we hit the ground running, passing a record amount of bills, and truly some bills that saves lives, like our Florida Silver Alert and the Coles Law for children, as well as bills to help our military, seniors, children, and been a strong champion for public education. I'm so proud and humbled and honored to be endorsed and supported by our firefighters, our teachers, our police officers, our nurses, our doctors, our labor community, our business community. We are in a great position to win this campaign and bring it home and make it a Democratic seat in the State Senate District 25. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Melanie Peterson. I'm the Republican nominee for State Senate District 25. As a resident of Palm Beach County for 25 years, growing up here, I have a small business here. My parents have small businesses here. We're invested in this community. For the past few years, I've been very frustrated with the way that things have been going here in Palm Beach County. And I decided this year that I was going to roll up my sleeves and get involved. And I'm ready to do the work. I'm ready to get the job done. I can tell you that I'm concerned about issues such as our foreclosure rates. 1 in every 352 homes in this county is in foreclosure. We have a point higher, our unemployment rate is 1 point higher in this county than it is in the entire state. And our home vacancy rates are second only to Detroit. These are real issues that we need to deal with, along with the fact that we have parts of our county in 40% of poverty. So I'm committed to these issues. I'm committed to rolling up my sleeves and doing the work and getting the job done. Thank you so much for being here today.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Michelle Sutzkauer. This is going to be a great event, not just because of the people sitting up here, but because of the people sitting in front of me. Thank you for your interest in this very important event. You know, the most operative word in this name of this event is awareness. Awareness. Thank you, those of you who put this together. My opponent is not here, but maybe if she comes, I'm going to leave this empty seat here for her, just in case. Because this is neither political party, women's awareness, and that's what we need. Do you know that in this state, women have the least amount of health insurance than any other state except for one? In this state, women's disparity in pay is almost second to almost any other state. And third, in this state, we have the fewest number of women legislators than almost any other state. Thank you very much. This is an important forum, and I look forward to a good discussion.
What are your ideas to improve the housing market in our state?
Well, I think that we have to make sure that our banking institutions and our insurance institutions are protecting their consumers, are providing a good service for the consumer and doing the job that they're supposed to be doing. So again, we've got to look to fraud. We've got to look to these companies to do the job that they're supposed to be doing for our citizens. Housing rates are dropping as far as the home vacancy rates are increasing, and home purchases are slowly on the rise. I think that we have to look at the circle of when it comes to home insurance. We have to get these home insurance companies to basically, do the job that they're asking us to pay for. We have to look at the rate modeling. We have to look at risk mitigation when it comes to homeowners insurance. So there are a lot of things that we need to really investigate so that we can increase our opportunity for people to be homeowners.
Thank you. I could go to, would you like to respond, Representative Abruzzo, and then we could end with Senator Sachs.
Sure. Thank you very much. Well, our home foreclosure crisis has multiple levels to it. First off, we need to make sure our court system is funded so we can move the rolls through our court. And then that goes beyond just home foreclosures. I cannot stress this enough, we need to make sure our court system is funded. When it comes to the banking institutions, we need to make sure that they're not holding our HOAs hostage during the crisis. We need to make sure they're not dumping the burden of the HOA dues and other fees right onto the existing homeowners. So we have to have legislators that stand up to the banking institutions and don't fold to them. Also, I agree with Melanie. Homeowners insurance is a huge issue. The rise of homeowners insurance really puts a detriment on the sales of homes. And to get that, we truly need, in my opinion, a catastrophic pool here in the southern states to truly lower the rise of homeowners insurance. So I'm going to be fighting for these things as I always have. Thank you very much.
Senator Sachs.
I want to jump quickly because she's really tough down here.
I told you.
All right. The women were the ones who were targeted, women and minorities were targeted for these subprime mortgages. And so many of them suffered when the economy came crashing down on their homes. For that reason, and because Tallahassee's so far away, I had 5 foreclosure workshops here in Palm Beach County, throughout the county, with the major banks there, making sure that anybody who had a mortgage that was underwater could come and speak to the major banks and make sure, regardless of party, regardless even of where anybody lived, they were able to sit down with a major bank and discuss their mortgage. That's what we need more of. Secondly, next week, just as the 2 other representatives spoke about, the property insurance, next Tuesday, I'm having a workshop, a state senate workshop in Lauderdale by the Sea. Everybody is invited to it, to come down and discuss your property insurance. Because we're held hostage by the big property insurance companies in the state, and many of us need help.
Then hold on to that microphone because this next question is for you. A nationally competitive public education and university system is essential to attract new jobs. What steps would you take to improve the competitiveness of Florida schools?
Money, money, money. Okay? Money, money, money. Money, 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 money. We cut, in the legislature, I say we, public education, and we cut our public universities. In fact, Florida Atlantic University lost $10.5 million. They had to close their Fort Lauderdale campus, and many of you came with me for our trip to SeaTech and Dania. They need to cut that as well. Let's remember one thing, ladies and gentlemen. We have some of the best public universities in this state. And if we think about how we're going to get the economy going, we're going to get it through our public universities. Let me just give you an amazing statistic. Facebook, Google, Yahoo, who invented these? Well, not students. Students, not politicians, not cuts to corporate America. Students working within the shadow of a university. We can do that here. I am convinced that if we would only put enough money in our public education, and we have a great university right here at FAU, we can get this economy working again and high tech. Thank you.
I'm a graduate of FAU, so I can agree with what Maria said about the programs here. I would be looking as far as innovating with private companies. You know, private enterprise has access to the cutting edge technology, cutting edge science, so we need to increase our partnerships with private enterprise. I want to see more partnerships with some of the grad students, some of the undergrad students. I was an undergrad student, excuse me, that actually reached out to private enterprise and worked with them and did some very independent studies on some land use papers here in Palm Beach County. And I went looking for that. What I'd like to see is more corporations invited in to provide that training and that opportunity for the students to learn from those private corporations that have that access to the cutting edge technology coming into the classroom. And we can see the partnerships there with dollars as well. So just exploring other opportunities as well.
Thank you.
I couldn't agree with Senator Sachs more. It's all about our budget and funding public education in our state university system. And it's amazing to me that we have a governor who is laser focused on increasing jobs, but yet at the same time, we're cutting public education dollars, and we raised our state university tuition this past session against what Senator Sachs and I myself voted for. They raised it to make it harder for children to go to school. They made it harder for pre-K college. And I will say one thing, this election has boiled down. You'll see Senator Sachs and I getting attacked, viciously attacked, saying that we cut education, that we voted against it. They're taking our budget vote because we voted no in opposition to the budget because of what they did for education, and they're turning it on us. Actually, I just walked in today, somebody gave me a flyer, how I have a record of shame for voting against education. That's because I voted against, and they list the budget vote. I didn't support our budget because of the raises to tuition and the reduction of public education that has been going on since 2008 and the day I got elected. Thank you.
In 2012, the Florida legislature adopted energy legislation, which reestablishes millions of dollars in renewable energy tax credits and exemptions and provisions intended to remove regulatory barriers for future investments in Florida renewable energy projects. What do you believe is the right energy policy for Florida?
We have to invest in renewable energy. There's no question about it. I'm proud that in this district and in the House district I represent, we're putting up the first wind farm here in the county. I actually lobbied and worked on that. Our county commission got it through, so the credit really goes to them. But there's no doubt about it, we need to keep incentivizing programs for us to have renewable technology. I was fortunate enough to pass the Energy Star rebate program when I first got elected, to give consumers benefits and rebates when you bought an energy efficient appliance. I brought back $17.6 million to our state for it. So when it's about renewable energy and making sure we have the right policy, I will leave no stone unturned. Every year we have some very good proposals, specifically from our Democratic caucus. However, they fail to go anywhere, unfortunately. That's why it's important that we have a more balanced approach in Tallahassee and our legislature.
I believe we're very well positioned to be leaders in energy production, whether it's renewable energies or traditional energy. I actually penned a resolution in favor of the wind turbine project that's going to be out in the Glades Sugarlands. It's called Sugarland Wind, and I'm very proud of that. I think that it's going to be a great stimulus to that community that's suffering now in 40% poverty. It's going to provide some long-term jobs, and it's going to provide them an opportunity to show the rest of the state that we're open for business here in Palm Beach County.
Thank you. Senator Sachs?
Yes, you know, I passed an energy bill that became law that said that anybody who used a renewable energy technology, basically, you know what that means? If you put solar panels on your roof, you should get a tax break. And guess what? You do for the next 10 years. Because this will incentivize people. Do you realize that we have the country's largest supplier of cellulosic ethanol? Do you realize that as a solar state, the sun state, we don't use solar energy? Has anybody here been to Israel and to see all their solar panels on their roof? And they've been using that in Israel for over 15 years. We are so behind. We import energy to use. Instead, we could use, as I've often said, Florida's resources for Florida's energy. Florida's resources for Florida's energy. Not only for our energy needs, imagine how we could export our energy resources right here in the state of Florida through the Caribbean, through South America, and to Europe. So stay tuned. We're going to do even more next year.